Good morning. Good to see so many of you on the live this morning. How are you guys doing? Trying to catch my breath. Good morning, folks. Happy to have all of you here with us. Good morning, guys. Welcome to our broadcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Friday, the 28th day of November. It's a little rainy on the outside, right? But we know those of you who are up north, y'all won't mind a little rain. Y'all wouldn't mind a little rain if it came without the cold. How y'all doing? Happy Thanksgiving. How was Thanksgiving yesterday for you folks? Y'all know we celebrate everything here. We celebrate the Americans holiday, the Thanksgiving. We celebrate with the Irish. What's the Irish one? What's the Irish holiday? We celebrate that too. St. Patrick's Day. How are you folks doing? A very good morning to all of you. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, we are happy and delighted that all of you could be here with us. Yesterday morning, at around this time, we were outside of the Stabroek market, looking on at what was happening there yesterday. This time, you got a government, you got to be so careful with them. They don't want to improve your standard of living. They're holding back the cash grant, the Jagdeo Bridge, breaking up people's house, the vibrations and all of that. And you think they are worried? You think they're worried? They ain't worried the least bit. How y'all doing this morning? Good to have all of you on the live. Yesterday morning, this time, this is what was going on outside the Stabroek market. Take a look. Take a listen.
This undertaking what it says is a beautification program outside Stabroek Market in downtown Georgetown. But this program appears to run counter to a program by City Hall. This program involves erecting what is called the Great Wall. The government is boarding up an area to be used by some vendors. Apparently, the vendors were given no notice.
Good morning. This morning about 2 o'clock, I was out here. When I come out, I see them nailing up these The boards. No, they was putting on these posts them in the ground. Anyway, when they put up the post at the ground, I come out and I ask the guy, them, I say, what is it you are doing? They said that they come for beautify out here, they're doing some fun park. I said,
She contended that the fun park would be for the benefit of tourists and other visitors. This vendor said that she was initially told that the metal fence would be used.
About 5:30 time, I see they start putting up some ply. I said, oh, you could put a ply here and we are selling it. How we selling? He said that he was instructed by the minister that we got to put up this ply there and I got to do the work.
Did he say which minister?
He said the local government minister, which is Miss Priya Manichan. He said the Indian country by the man there, the Indian country, to tell her with that. The mayor did not know about it because I get onto the mayor. The constable, nobody know about it. You just come in, operate a building this ply, but wrong we accuse a prison with it.
Let's start up the locking we have, the shutting we down, we can't get a selling piece. Just now is that we don't know what's the next process.
Mayor Alfred Mentor said that he was informed of the exercise by news reports. He said that the stated intention was to set up a Christmas tree.
I, Alfred Mentor, Mayor Georgetown, when it comes to people earning and their ability to earn, I will obviously support that. In relation to the displacement of those persons here, the concept of the Christmas tree was told to us. The concept itself also show how there will be some beautification here. The implementation aspect and until without notification is what I have a challenge with.
He said that if necessary, City Hall would move to suspend this intervention.
This is the property of the main city council. This is a car park that concerns the Stabroek Market Square. Anything that happening within the city concerning properties of the main city council has to have consultation with us.
The minibus operators say that they too have been affected, and one vendor stood her ground in the face of the police presence. She insisted that she wouldn't be walled in.
You know, it's not going to happen to us like that. We're not going to be walled in. How are you folks doing? Good morning and welcome to our broadcast. That was yesterday. You all know we like front row because we fast. There's nobody likes and the shares because we know that you all fast too, and we always want to get you folks the valid and credible information. Now that was yesterday, and the Minister of Local Government and Regional Development already demoted for conduct in another portfolio, and she said the mayor knew and they were part of a meeting and they had a video presentation. Other councillors were there and what's not. Why didn't she use the same energy with the garbage bin rollout to inform the vendors? She went to the vendors and, you know, they put mic in their faces and asked them how they felt about the garbage bins and everything else. And of course, the people, you know, in fear for the daily bread, say, yes, it's nice, everything is good and fine and well and so on. Why did we go back the same way and say, how you all feel about us moving y'all? Take a photograph with me and this influencer. Nice time. You know? But this is the PAP government we got to deal with. Who, me? Right? Who, me? Judith David? Judith Sir Ralph Gunn. Judith can't even wait for us to get to that portion in our program. Ralph Gunn. You know, but the PPP are displacing the Stabroek market vendors with impunity today. Let me come this way. But we saw this headline, you know, MB Finance, thank you. MB Finance reminded me this morning that this was the PPP not so long ago. You see the duplicity of the PPP? I want this headline. Block me. Don't do it. Relocation of Stabroek Square vendors is anti-poor. This is what they said then. You see? This is what they said then. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Here it is. Here it is. Yesterday, they're being walled off. They're being walled off. Yesterday, not so long ago. It's anti-poor. This is right from Stabroek News reporting. We didn't touch it. We didn't fill it. We didn't play around with the words. Just as it would appear on Stabroek News website, relocation of the people, anti-poor. See that? Anti-poor. If you're going to take a screenshot, that's it. Anti-poor. Wicked. Wicked. That's what we're talking about. They say one thing on Tuesday, but Thursday, different story. Different story. Pull chair, pull. That's what's happening, folks. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. How y'all doing? I should have started with Ralph, no? So Ralph Gonzalez is gone. I'm hearing 14-1. 14 seats to 1. I was going to bed last night. I was watching. I saw, what was it last evening? 11-4. Now I'm hearing 14-1. Folks, what is the latest? Good to have all of you on the live this morning. If you know what is the latest, what is the latest there? You know, I wouldn't belabor the point. Listen to me now. I would not belabor the point that Dr. Godwin Friday has appeared in the ring several times. I would not belabor the point. The new Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Godwin Friday, appeared several times, I think 3 or 4 times in the ring. We invited him, and he would always come. BC leader of the opposition then in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right? Yeah. Caden Kyle says 14-1. 14-1. You know, he's a kind man. He left them with something. Right? We have this. I know they had election. Yeah. Well, it was so. Even though you didn't know it was happening. All right. I ain't gonna belabor the point that the Honorable Dr. Godwin Friday appeared several times in the ring. I ain't gonna belabor that point. So, you know, we can let him settle in. 14-1 for Ralph. All right. Did Ralph take his licks like a man? No. I heard a lot of complaining. But I want to leave that there. I saw C.S. Gunraj in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a observer. You know? Margaret said Ralph gone for China. He coming back? He gone for China. Is he coming back? Marlon says it's cold outside. Marlon is in Queens. Or is it Brooklyn, Marlon? What's the temperature? But that's that. Elizabeth Narayan says, a blessed day to see the back of Ralph. Yeah. God and time. That's what the Lord dropped in my spirit this morning. As I was saying, congratulations on my Facebook page. That is what the Lord dropped in my spirit. And I remembered that phrase because I was there when young Eden Corbin was called before the bar. He invited me to see his call to the bar, and I was so honored. I sat down and I listened, and Eden Corbin is such a fantastic young man, you know. To see him, he put aside the notes he had prepared. Dr. Godwin Friday is a lawyer as well, by the way. If you're now waking up to who the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is, right? St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Godwin Friday, of course, Ralph Gonzalez and the family. They had the dynasty set up for the last 25 years, quarter century. Could you imagine? That's all the people there knew. We had to pay people 23 years in one stint. 25 years. That is all the folks knew. The SVG folks, you see, but God and time. That was the theme that young Eden Corbin spoke to as he was called to the bar. And I was so awestruck. God and time says it all. Says it all. You know, I smile with those who are on the other side politically, our brothers and sisters on the other side politically, and they say you're relegated to the opposition benches and what's not and what's not. They don't forget 2015, you know. Don't forget 2015. But I smile with them. And I've conjured so many things in my mind when they start hurling, you know, their insults and degrading talks, you know. You know, now I got a phrase for it, God and time. You know, don't worry yourself with evildoers, the good book says. God and time. God and time. So after 25 years, right? Dr. Friday's party is in. Dr. Friday's party is in. And I want to thank the people who made that connection for us. You know, a very kind lady called me once and she says, look, I have connections with the opposition leader in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Would you like to talk to him? I said, sure. And that lady set that thing up. That lady was my, who was the one in the Bible opening doors? You know, open that door for me, and Dr. Friday appeared in our show 3 to 4 times. I'm so grateful. Happy that he's in, you know, he and his party. God and time, may they do well for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. May they do well. Yeah, that being said, Shanette, Alicia, or Alicia, good morning, Mandy, Sandra, Audrey, Marla, the whole gang is here. You know, are we the only breakfast tables in this country? Get 800 people, 800 mouths to feed in the morning. And some of y'all is eat plenty, so we're in trouble here. We're in trouble, you know. And then them boys, they want to release the cash grant. How we gonna make out? Somebody said Ralph looking like Saddam Hussein. Elizabeth says, nothing lasts forever. Only the word of God. Only the word of God. I could be a preacher, you know. I was well on my way. Could have been a preacher. God and time. Nothing lasts forever. Yeah. Nothing at all. So let's talk about some of the other issues that we're dealing with. You know, here from them land. They promised a cash grant before elections. You see, no. We can talk about that in a second or two. We can talk about that in a second or two. You see now, them boys saying, think beyond cash grant. Maybe that's the right place to start. Think beyond. You remember the last time was generational wealth to the building, right? With the cash grant. No, Vincent, think beyond cash grant, man. We want to do more for you than just cash grant. We want to build a bridge across the Demerara River. Bridge shaking up. Vibrating now. Look on Credible Sources page. We posted an article this morning. Some people who live close by the bridge said the vibration. The walls of the house falling down. I remember very early in the tenure, the first tenure, if an was coming back from New York, they had a press conference. And he was asked about the plans of this bridge. Was he or Jack Dio? He says a no-brainer. What? Studies? Right? Remember when they were questioning them about the EIA? The Environmental Impact Assessment for the Barra-Jagdeo Demerara Harbor Bridge. Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Bridge got a long name. Only bridge in the world. The name of the bridge longer than the bridge. The name of the bridge. If they were to spell across the bridge, the whole name of the bridge, it runs from the bridge right to Crane. Demerara, Barra, Roseanne, Jagdeo, Demerara Harbor Bridge, Cooperative Republic, the oil producing nation, so a whole thing like that. Senior minister within whole long designation. You see, chief cook, batuwash, pot salt, ball head, whole long designation. You see, it was a no-brainer. Now the thing shaking up the people's house. Before election, they said, vote for we. Vote for we. Vote for me. No, election come and gone, man. Cash grant. You got beyond that, man. You see, you don't need cash grant, you know, when your salary is $1.2 million. When you get free transportation, you know, them boys just go outside and make a song and traffic is move out the way. You need cash grant. Right? When you shop at whatever this fancy store in New York, Rostrum and Arpel and whatever it is, when your belt that you wear is 5,000 US, the watch that you got on is 15,000 US dollars. You know, you drive the latest vehicle, compliments of the state. Oh my God, you don't need cash grant. And the problem with this government is they believe everybody like them. Everybody like them. Everybody flying high. Guyanese is waking up. I know it might be a little slow for God and time. Guyanese are waking up. This money don't belong to the PPP. Huh? If they pursue bringing actual relief to the Guyanese people, the way they're pursuing the biometrics to stay in power, your information, the way they're pursuing that, this would be a nice time Christmas. You see? They don't tell you all what's the increase, so some of you are even bothering the budget again. Right? Was it 8 last year? You might get a 9 next year. So you don't know what's coming down the line. You already know what is coming down the line, so you're not too excited. You're not too excited. You don't know what's coming. And so, only thing you're looking for to know is a little cash grant. A little cash grant. You see? They done thieving out a lot of it. People who distribute the cash grant. If you see how they're living, if you see how they're living, nice, real nice. People build some big monstrosity. Them, the whole generation, thief and bandits. And that's how the thing's big. Some big palatial dwelling, this swimming pool, infinity pool. Swimming pool got swimming pools. You know? For the ordinary man, you see, when we said to you a couple of things during the last election, you didn't believe us. We said friends at the time, favorites, family and flatterers, all had the time. It's time for y'all. Yes, no. It's not time for Norton. Right? It's time for Ali. All right. 5 more years for y'all. 5 more years for y'all. I understand it. Some point in your life, you could be a little misguided, eh? You could be a little misguided. Right? A little misguided. Used to like a couple of girls back in the days. Some point in your life, you could be a little misguided. Now it's just me and my Spanish them. Good morning. Morning, guys. You see? So y'all understand why Vex Cash Grant gotta come, Mandy. Right? Gotta come. Them boys get Ralph house. You know, y'all remember when Ralph come and get houses and so on? Ralph is being investigated while Ralph begging us for help them with their housing drive and so on there, and to source houses from here to give to their people. Ralph and family own some very, very expensive home in the creme de la creme areas in Trinidad and Tobago. Why Ralph and take a plot in Pradoville too? Huh? Why Ralph and take a plot in Pradoville too? No, Trinidad. Trinidad is it. Here, he daughter-in-law got a house there. He got a house. His son, all them, you know. All of them. All of them. Ganga De Lloyd, our counselor from Region 3. Give me easy time, Ganga De. Give me easy time. Give me easy time, Waveney. And so now, the chicken coming home to roost. After they done big up myself to the Spanish, they hold on for this cash grant now. What is it? Don't gonna deserve a proper Christmas? Yeah, I think Referee and bringing any big kind of money now. Huh? Dogging critics can make the money. Refereeing and bringing no big set of money. Huh? No big set of money in there. I can't live nice too. Huh? I can't sing all I want for Christmas is a Spanish. What's it? I just here for walk like a donkey. What is it? Come on now. Innovative Spooner, Mandy, and all the other folks. 14-1. Spark got a song. 10-1 is murder. 10-1 is murder. Where's 14-1? Right? What is 14-1? Evisceration? So loose up the cash grant. Irfan, loosen the cash grant. Please and thank you. Loosen it. Why you hold on and it's a tight, man? This is not your money. Let it go a little bit. You see when them boys talking about the friends? I did put my piece in my queues in my car now. I know I ain't got my luck. I know I ain't got my luck. Right? When best friends warring, I heard Irfan talking with the friend. He said, due process. Due process. Who was the person who said the hottest love got the coldest end? I always marvel about that. I always marvel about the vicissitudes of life. You know, the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs, the goings and comings. I marvel, you know, the hottest love, coldest end. We were there when the raptor was being used to chauffeur and photographs are taken, and my God, the bromance was real. And now, because of political expediency, you ready to ship your friend off to Siberia? We got through some better friends. But as them boys say, the more you live, the more you learn. You want a friend in politics? What you gotta do? Let me see how, if you are sharp. It's a common saying. We can know those who are astute. From the slackers, from the just comers. You want a friend in politics? You gotta do something. Ellipses, 3 dots. You gotta do something. You want a friend. You know what I found to be very faithful? The Spanish. You get a Spanish. All right. Let me stick on this topic here. You want a friend. You want a friend in politics. What you gotta do, Mavis? Glenda? Sparkle? Mandy? Mandy said, Duncan, stay in your lane. I am a lane. That's why I tell you I pull back. When I see friends warring, I pull back. Right? You want a friend in politics. You should do something. Right? And you're safe. You're safe. Glenda said they reject happiness for tears. I like this song that. They reject happiness for tears. That could be a scripture, is it? Is it? Right? Naomi said stop saying things for effect. Naomi said stop saying things for effect, Sharon. You see? Two things sound like joke, eh? Pim. Neo says leave the Spanish alone. Good morning, Neocon. Leave the Spanish alone, Sharon. You see? They say you want a friend in politics. Buy a dog. They be more loyal. So they men going after the friend now. Political expediency. That's the name of the game. I gotta get you out of the way by you. Right? You barking a little too hard. You know, gotta get you out of the way. So the president says that Guyana's courts are solely determining whether there is sufficient evidence to extradite Azruddin Muhammad and his father, Nazar Shah Muhammad. Due process. Due process. Yeah. Mm-hmm. To the uninitiated. You can get away with that, Irfan. To the uninitiated. Right? If this was all about due process, where is May Thomas, who was also sanctioned with the Mohammeds? You know, where was she? You know, all this due process. Where is she? See? Yeah. Irfan says due process. In addition to that, he was asked about the election of the leader of the opposition. His friend again. He's a conversation with friends. His friends who they were in the WhatsApp, the Lamborghini, whatever the taxes were, and Irfan said pay 50 million. He said, no, I can pay whatever it is, or pay 25 million. The friends say I can pay 50, whatever it is. You know all the allegations. It's all there in the public domain. So when I see friends and so on, I pull back. Right. The speaker's in Panama. Irfan says, when the speaker comes back, the speaker is traveling. When he gets back, well, this is a traveling speaker, so you better do it quick when he come back. Because he could just come, change his clothes and gone again. Come, change his clothes and gone again. The speaker is more overseas than in Ghana. He's a non-resident speaker at this point. He's a non-resident speaker at this point. I saw them send the tally of parliamentary travel. I look at the thing and said, this is the national budget here. When you look and see what is being spent in parliamentary travel overseas, I said, this is the 2019 budget here, boy. 2019 budget is a lot of money. It's the airline we running. Gotta be an airline we running. When you see the money we spending on. President said, when the speaker comes back, if he has the time, you have marked my words. When the speaker come back, it'll be another problem. Even just kicking the can down the road. When the speaker comes back, right? In the absence of the speaker, you're not a deputy. Isn't that why you elect a deputy speaker? Isn't that why? In the absence of the speaker, isn't it? Like about time we into the necessity phase of having a leader of the opposition? Is it about time? I'd love to see Win doing a little bit more. Seems that they're in a holding pattern. I've noted they've not announced the chief whip. They have the majority seats in the opposition. They have not announced the chief whip. They have not announced their shadow portfolios. Who's holding their shadow portfolio? I mean, election was September 1. The election was September 1. This is November 28. So Win seems to be in a holding pattern, but they got to do what's best for them. They're in a holding pattern. They're in a holding pattern. They had a protest. They had a protest. Was it this week? So much happened this week. Was it Monday? Whenever it was. They had a protest recently saying, elect the leader of the opposition, elect, and what's not in front of the Parliament building. But I was listening to former Assistant Commissioner of Police, retired Assistant Commissioner of Police, Paul Slow recently, on that protest, and he had some advice that I think the folks from Win are the heed. You know, he got some advice for them in terms of the protest and so on. And I love to hear when Paul Slow speaks, because this is his business. You know, he spent a lot of time as a senior policeman, and not only a senior policeman, right? He's always been what I term as curious about his profession, and so he has improved. He's a wealth of knowledge in this regard, and he wasn't trying to slight them or anything like that. But again, I think like he did a week ago or 2 weeks ago, making the point that you can't be driving vehicles without license and without insurance as a man who wants high office in this country. Right? The greatest among you must be the servant. You know, what does that say? You got to obey the law. Achieving high office is not about flouting the law. Achieving high office is not about duty free. It's not about how big the salary is. Right? It's not about taking over the road. It's not about any of those things. It's about serving the people. And you got to serve people by example. That's the first way you do it. By example. So here's Paul Slow offering some advice in terms of the protest activity of the Win Party. Take a look. Take a listen.
Members and supporters of We Invest in Nationhood, WIN, gathered outside public buildings for what they said was a peaceful protest on Monday. Retired Assistant Police Commissioner Paul Slow said that any such exercise must be in accordance with the law.
That when you are going to hold a protest, make sure you comply with the law. Because they look at, the satellite act, the satellite chicken act. When they come down there and get chicken, they go with grass.
He said that the law doesn't mandate permission for a picketing exercise.
If you're picketing, you can't gang up, you got to keep moving. You can't block traffic, you can't block entrances and so on. You have to get, I think, the armband mark, peaceful picket. That is required by the law, Required by the law. Make sure y'all do the right thing.
He said that the protesters need to be aware of the law when they are going to march.
Because in law, that is defined to be a procession. Right? A procession. Under the Public Order Act, you have to get permission from the police to process.
He said that meetings and processions are governed by the Public Order Act.
For the time you slip, sir, they're gonna pull you before the court. They will be instructed to put you before the court for the time you slip. So if you go there and you're there on the road, so you're holding protests and you block the traffic, it's against the law.
Yeah. I had a lecturer used to say, a lecturer in law, when he wants you to know what's coming in the exam, he used to say a word to the wise. That particular topic coming, and he's teaching, he said, a word to the wise. A word to the wise. In Win, don't let them slight you so easily. Don't let them detain you so easily. Tie up your time with running to court, and you understand? It's more time in the court than in the National Assembly. More time in the court than looking after the affairs of the people of the country. Don't let them slight you so easily. Paul says it. Without malice. Without bad mind. Without bad feelings. Without malice. Let us take heed. Let us take heed. So we got a couple other things we following, folks. We want to run by you before we let you go. It's a final show for this week. And we're looking forward to it. It being the final show for the week. As we head into the weekend, got a couple of things to do over the weekend in terms of looking after the people's business. We got to keep at it. Every day we get up, we plow away at it a little bit, chip away at it a little bit. I remember asking my grandfather of blessed memory, Mr. Johnson, he said, Junior, he said this, I said, who? You see, if you're in this family, you're going to know these codes. See, every day, always in the yard. They had mud yard. They didn't conquer their yard. They lived at Diamond. They were one of the first set of people that moved into Diamond. Mud yard. Maintain that yard. Never saw a grass out of place, a blade. And they planted everything. They planted cane, they planted. I said, grandfather, how you do this thing? How you gonna see I just spick and span? You see, every day you do a little bit. Don't wait for the whole thing. Get like a jungle. Every day. To the farm, every day you go by there. He, my grandmother, both have blessed memory now. Chipping away, pulling away, planting something. You know? Yeah. And that's how we gotta do the politics. Every day. You chip away a little bit, chip away a little bit. And we get a result. God and time. Right. God's time is not man's time. God and time. Tech learning from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 25 years. I mean, we want such a long stretch. God forbid. But when he does something, he is done well. God and time. And we can do it. We gotta do it part too. We ain't just rock back. We ain't just rock back. Folks, let me tell you all something. For me, personally, I get a parliamentary salary. And every day I wake up, I try to earn that. I try to earn that. I keep my own schedule. Nobody can give me a schedule. Right? If they put together a schedule now, I'm 10 miles ahead of it. I hold myself to a particular standard. I'm not worried with what anybody else is doing. Right? I am competing with me. I want to better me. I want to better my efforts every day. So when the end of the month comes, I want to make sure I am earning what the Guyanese people are giving me monthly as a member of parliament. I want to make sure I'm earning that. Make sure I'm earning it. That's me. So I get up every day, do a little. My weekend is already stretched out before me. I gotta go and talk to some people. Some Lanny Sioux. A couple of them called me. They said this thing, this housing thing, that the bossing is not what I'm telling you it is. We know that on paper, right? They can tell you it's a 80,000 house lots give out, 90,000. And them are wrong. Technically, it's on paper. But when you go, one woman's almost in tears recently. She said, Mr. Duncan, the bandits robbing we with impunity. They're robbing us with impunity in this particular area here. The thief out with door, the thief out with fence, with roof. And she said to both, they got a police outpost close by. She said when you call them, they never get vehicle. They never get vehicle. And she was talking to me. A man passing by. He said, never get vehicle? He said, I tell you a story. He said the other day, Brighton Georgetown here, a woman fainted away. Right? Fainted away. They said they don't know what was the problem, what was the ailment, severe or mild or whatever it was. The woman passed out. So when they called the ambulance, they were told promptly, they got one ambulance in Georgetown and it's busy. I am not making this thing up. We got one ambulance in Georgetown and it's busy right now. One ambulance, it's busy. He said the lady was a stranger to him. He don't know the lady. The lady fainted away on the pavement. And they're trying to get some help. The ambulance busy. Five more years for them. We get what we pay for. So the point I was making is just chipping away. Chipping away. Right? I saw Friday, Dr. Godwin Friday, chipping away. He rock back and say, oh, them boys then for 25, well, at that point, probably 20 years. They're going to have his then. I just going along. Fighting. Right? Fighting. We got to keep chipping away. Right? Elaine says, Sharon, I think you should stop encouraging people on your live to call other people out of their names. You gotta help me here. A little cloudy. Elaine says, I think you should stop encouraging people on your live to call other people out of their names. You gotta help me there, Elaine. I need clarity. Right? Gloria says it's only Shea one compete with. Well, you don't know. Folks, it's Friday. Let's end on a light note. I got so much else I want to share with you. I want to give you a light Friday morning. God knows. We don't know what else is coming down today. The vendors yesterday, who knows? You know? Y'all know. You better think parts. Cash grant. Sit down waiting. They swore in the 9 RDC councillors. You know, Ali says that Region 10 will be dealt with at the appropriate time. Like how they dealt with the Chancellor and Chief Justice at the appropriate time. That's when they would deal with it. The Region 10 Chairman and Vice Chairman at the appropriate time. Right? At the appropriate time. At the appropriate time. Y'all left Elaine, right? Don't rough up Elaine. I'm begging y'all. I'm still trying to figure out what Elaine meant. So that happened yesterday too. You know? I saw Priya yesterday was showing photographs of how she had a statement that says what? She went into Tiger Bay to talk about trees being cut down and so on. Then she went over to the market. She said rabble rouse is trying to lead the market people astray. They're dislocating vendors, you know. Same people who said, as I showed you, you know, moving vendors is anti-poor. But early in the day, Priya attended this swearing in of the chairman and vice chairman of the regions, the various regions. And then they had a cocktail afterwards. Right? I noticed she left that out of her post last evening. She didn't say, I went to a cocktail, ate the finest foods the country has to offer, and then I went in Tiger Bay. then I was in Tiger Bay. You know, she started, I was in Tiger Bay. Folks, you heard these guys here? Another world is necessary. Walter Rodney said, another world is necessary. Right? Agency giving you all 48 hours to clear your tickets so you can get your driver's license suspended. He is judge, jury, and executioner. 48 hours to clear your speeding ticket or whatever traffic infraction. You could get your license suspended. In addition to that, you know the crackdown with the tint vehicles? Minister of Home Affairs says policemen must remove their tint, those who have tint illegally, or else, you know. I saw a post from the Honorable Minister of Home Affairs, Onish Waldron, and she says that policemen have been sending their videos of them removing their tint. I want she post the videos. I don't know why she stopped short. Be a Priya, post everything. Right? She said they've been sending her lots of videos from all over the country. Right? All over the country. But she's not been posting them. I'd like to see that. I like to see those videos of policemen removing their tents. She said, plenty of them. Right? Show it to us, please. Show it to us. So we're following that. We're following that too, among other things. Right? And of course, as I said, the vibrations, you see, the vibrations from the Jagdeo Bridge. The vibrations from the Jagdeo Bridge causing a lot of problems. A lot of problems. The vibrations, you see. People wall falling down and so on. We had a peaceful day since that bridge opened. We had a peaceful day since that bridge opened. You can answer. You know, I saw they had a raid on the Mazroni prison. The amount of cell phones I saw confiscated. I said, this is the cell phone shack. I said they're teaching a repair class there. If you see phones and lighters and how these phones passing in? Drones dropping them in? I show up the sweep again now. They'd find the same amount, if not more. The Peter interest. If you see phones, you know, they better scan down. You remember law-abiding citizen? The man that drill, you know, tunnel under the prison. Yeah, but check to see downstairs. You got a cell phone shack or something. Where all them phones coming from? I started thinking about it appears to be hundreds of phones. Right? Was it Rudder who let in the cocaine pass, or that was Gypsy? Was who? Maybe it's none of them. In that Trinidad and Calypso. Somebody let in the cocaine pass. Somebody let in the cocaine pass. Somebody let in the cell phones pass. Please and thank you. Somebody let in the cell phones pass. You know? I see y'all arguing back on. Man, y'all don't argue with nobody. Y'all don't argue with nobody. God and time. God and time. Right? Just let me keep chipping away. Don't let me fight among ourselves. Right? Don't let's fight among ourselves. I will continue to hold myself to a higher standard. Right? I ain't say every single day, every minute of the day, I do it. Sometimes I fall down. Oh. Sometimes I fall down a little bit. I get it back. Right? I get it back. I told you, I was having a conversation with a Spanish. I mean, my wife. I was having a conversation with my wife. Naomi, effect. You see a guy attention there? I was having a conversation with my wife, and she said to me, I think you went too far with this comment you made. Right? I ain't stupid. Right? Happy wife, happy life. Happy wife, happy life. You see? And I said to her, I can make amends. I'm going to walk back that way. Happy wife, happy life. That's the first time in a long time my wife has ever intervened in anything I've done politically. You know? She might stand back from afar, most times just laugh at me. But she said to me, right? A friend of mine called me too, and my wife was in the car. I was talking to my friend from overseas and speaker. And my wife said, she's right. And she's only telling you that because she's a friend. She's right. But she'd already told me before. My wife had already told me before. She said, I think he went too far. You know? I got a nice country girl. I'll tell you this as I wrap up. How many of you here are country girls? I'll tell you this. Country girls gotta come with a warning now. I thought I'd get in a nice traditional country girl. Misrepresentation. You know the warning for country girl got state? Not as seen on TV, something like that. Not as heard on radio. I thought I'd get a nice little country girl. It didn't happen. You see? It didn't happen like that. So oftentimes, something would happen. I say, I thought you're a country girl. She might have been the last one or the first of a new breed. You know? I even till up the road. One morning I left to go to work. I did 40 between here and Yeovil. I think it's 40 miles. 40 miles of the road. The vehicle steer itself. Sir. Within a year, I married a girl. Right? They told me it's a country girl's finishing. I said, at least I can get the last one. I got the first one of the new set. Naomi says she's a country girl 2.2. Now you tell me. Now y'all telling me. See y'all later. Before you come in the room. Y'all have a great day, folks. That's our time. That's our broadcast. Country Girl 2.2. Also known as the Cook That Lady. If y'all is part of the family, y'all gonna know what I mean. If you don't know what it means, you're not a full-fledged part of the family just yet. You could be if you stick around long enough and you take learning and you join us on our next broadcast. Let us leave it there. That's our time. That's our broadcast. Stay safe, folks.